जन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद की जय हो। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानं जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वप्नदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणा रघुनाथावितान्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्री विशाखावितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो। हरे कृष्णा। दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल डिवोटीज। राधा विनोद प्रभु जी आपका रिकेप सेवा है।
Yeah, we'll start now. Okay, I'll
Yes
just
प्रभु जी, you can start.
okay. Thank you. Share players. Let's see.
Krishna Prabhuji, I have few office calls to finish, so I will join back in 30 minutes. Prasad Prabhu, I will make you the moderator. Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna, can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes
Okay,
प्रभु
you
जी।
can. Okay, so my clock starts now 8 o'clock, and I have been given 10 minutes or 12 minutes to complete recap. So let's have some, some logic in that. So preferably, I have 7, 8 questions, and one person will answer, and maybe there's required second. But let's not get into the too much discussion because otherwise we'll not be able to complete, right? So normally we have 20, 25 minute this recap on that. So I'll start with the recap now. And thanks, Raksha Mataji. Last time she explained about Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 12. Basically, it talks about it talks about association, and it primarily talks about association with the Krishna's. Ultimately, that's what it's bringing, and pure devotees, association with the pure devotee. So as I'm sharing, I highlighted this question. They are pretty simple and straightforward. Raksha Mataji took a lot of pain to explain us everything so nicely. on that. So as I'm showing it here, the chapter abstract, the glories of holy association. Okay, that is the first question. So what is the glory of holy association?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Dandavat
Uh,
Pranam.
there is a deep impact of association with saintly persons. It reveals, they guide us and inspire us for the established connection with Krishna. They show us the roadmap of spiritual path, and it helps us for community Sankirtan and everything, and we are greatly inspired by devotee community
Yeah.
like that.
So
Prabhuji, holy means pure,
Pure.
pure devotees association, auspicious.
Yes. So both Krishna as well as devotee, because if you read the lesson, it talks about Krishna also primarily on that, but pure devotees also do come in that, right? So it's a holy. That's what is called pure association, and influence our devotional path. That is the first question. Question two is, uh, explain only heartfelt devotion. Here the word comes heartfelt because we discuss in detail, right? So explain why heartfelt devotion is superior to rituals.
Ritualistic worship is very much superficial. It only it gives external peace. It doesn't give bliss. But heartfelt devotion, that is true loving devotional service to Krishna, is much more than ritualistic practice, and it gives complete peace and bliss to mind.
Yeah.
It
So
is a
heartfelt that
permanent
go ahead.
bliss, and we can attach to divine more and more.
Yeah. So when it's a connection between one heart to another heart, right? So it's not only head to head connection, it's a heart to heart connection. And that is where that heartfelt devotion, that means genuinely feeling for someone, right? And in this case, this is the Lord Krishna. That is more important than doing ritualist, because you can do years together, many births. It may not work on that. So nice answer on that. Let's go to the third question. Also the nature of, okay, here another question is that very nice here. So there are two things. One is as per the lesson, another Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur talk, he adds little more. We'll also talk on that. But here in this one, the item 4 is a Vipralam Bhav. Why repeatedly the Vipralam Bhav is brought into devotional service? It's supposed to be the pinnacle of all devotional service. Why it is emphasized again and again, Vipramba?
Because in Vipralambha means separation. In separation, we deeply think, or we our longing for Lord Krishna is more, and by that we think about Krishna more, and we have a connection with him more, which leads to liberation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very
Yeah.
nice,
Other
Charu.
thing is true love for God shines brightest in the
Right,
mood of
Right.
separation.
Yeah.
Vipralambha.
That
Yes,
is
yes.
the highest state of love
right,
expression, Prabhuji.
correct. And that is
Vipralambha.
very
In
nicely
fact, if
Charu
you see
Prabhuji
any
bring that, right?
sampradaya, yeah,
Mhm.
any other sampradaya versus Gauda sampradaya, the biggest difference, if you could see, is the Vipralamba Bhava. Okay,
Yeah,
that is what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to all of us. That is
yeah,
the unique difference. Okay,
yeah. And
this
use of
particular.
separation can catalyze transformative spiritual insight, right? Love for
Yes.
God shines bright. It comes out the best, right? It comes out the best moment of longing and despair. So both, why is the word longing and despair called? Why longing and what is the significance of longing and despair? In
Because
Viplamba, go ahead.
we miss, and that is why we When we are in despair condition, we think more about God, and God, we need God's help for psychological pacification. And that is why longing becomes more.
What happens to Sambhoga as against to Vipralambha? Is there a longing and despair there?
No, because
There's no
despair is also there. Sometimes Gopi Jan were thinking that this time will go away, and again they will be departed from Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. Very
मोस्ट
nice.
इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट इज प्रभु जी के जब यूनियन में बहुत जल्दी समय निकल जाता है तो फिर मालूम नहीं पड़ता है, तो फिर इससे अच्छा है कि सेपरेशन में अभी तक मिले नहीं तो और ज्यादा लॉन्गिंग होता है और याद कर
Longing.
सकते हैं.
And despair bhi hota hai. If we don't meet, what will happen, right? That worry is there,
yes.
more around that.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so nice one. So we'll go to the next one. This is only one question here. It talks about why material world is called a deceptive realm. It's here, right? So why material world is called deceptive realm? It is in page 5.
Yes, because it did not give the permanent pleasure. बहुत ही फ्लीटिंग नेचर होता है. जब भी जो भी हम मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में जो भी कर्म करते हैं उसका जो फल मिलता है हमें वो बहुत ही टेम्पररी, शॉर्ट और फ्लीटिंग नेचर का होता है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड द डिसेप्टिव नेचर.
Deceptive. So there's one question here I missed on page 3 that this Krishna is direct to Uddhava. What is the Krishna's directed to Uddhava? What Krishna tells Uddhava, by seeing the love of gopis, he advises something, right?
यस, उद्धवा को उन्होंने बोला कि आप गोपी के प्रेम के द्वारा सीखो, दूसरी जो भी पाठ है उसको छोड़ दो और देखो कि गोपी का कैसा बिहेव है, मेरे प्रति कितना प्रेम है, वो जैसे वर्शिप करते हैं वैसे आप करो.
Because
उनके द्वारा
conventional
हम
will not.
सबको conventional religious norms in favor of learning from the gopis.
Because he
Pure
was
devotion.
Gyani. He was Gyani, right? So
Yes.
let's go to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Will give some justification to him, because Charu Prabhuji brings separately, all the same points separately with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So here, once again, explain how association with the pure devotees dissolve material attachment. He brings little different one aspect, the similar thing what we saw, but here brings it how associate the pure devotee dissolve on material attraction.
Because pure devotee has an extraordinary power to dissolve the material attachment. अगर उनका थोड़ा भी एसोसिएशन में मिल जाता है तो they have that potency, Prabhu, because they are pure hearted, so they have the potency to हमें भी हमारा भी मटेरियल अटैचमेंट वो दूर करने में सक्षम है.
Prasad Prabhu ji, you want to add something?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
या राजकुमारी माता जी, go ahead.
पहले तो मैं माफी मांगती हूँ क्योंकि मैं किसी अर्जेंट काम में बहुत हो गई थी, मेरे को नहीं पता था इतनी लेट हो जाऊंगी. मेरे को भजन भी
Anyway,
करना
you
था.
are there now, माता जी, you are on right time.
Yes, yes. Now, इसमें प्रभु जी इसमें ऐसा बताया है कि जो मेन जो चीज है वो साधु संग, ये जो जैसे गोपियों का एग्जांपल देके कि उनका जो प्योर लव था, प्योर डिवोशन था, वो इतना ज्यादा था कि वो कृष्णा के बहुत नजदीक थी एक तरह से. तो ये हमारी जो कृष्णा के नजदीक आते हैं दिमाग में, ये जब होता है प्योर लव होता है, डिवोशन होता है टुवर्ड्स डिवाइन, टुवर्ड्स गॉड, तो जो हमारा जो अटैचमेंट होती है टुवर्ड्स मटेरियल थिंग्स, वो हमारी डिसॉल्व होती चली जाती है, डिसॉल्व हो जाती है. तो yes,
Probably regarding association with saintly persons, it is said that sometimes we suffer in our solitary spiritual actions. They guide us and they make us free from struggle for spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Spiritual
So yeah, it's fine. I have only two questions because I have to finish in the next couple of minutes. So we'll go to the page 13. Explain significance of grace of Lord to surrendered soul, because it's a surrender and grace. It's a very important, right? So why the grace of Lord matters?
Because due to grace of Lord, we can reach the highest point of bhakti. Without His grace, self efforts are cannot take us to the highest point. Only due to the help of the
Correct.
grace mercy, our
Prasad Prabhuji,
bhakti is
you want to
possible.
add
Yeah.
something? You want
Yes,
to add
Prabhu.
something, Prasad Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. On this particular grace, God's grace, we can only put certain effort, Prabhu, because we're only very little. Okay, we are very, very little. Okay, so after certain stage, okay, we need a completely Lord's mercy. Okay, that is grace, Prabhu. Okay,
Yeah.
then only we can move forward. That is what, whether you call it as a surrender, mercy, have a different names, Prabhu. Yeah.
So
Our
Charu Prabhuji
ego
explained.
vanished. Slowly,
Correct.
slowly,
Ego.
our ego vanished.
Yeah, Charu Prabhuji, remember Ichha Shakti, Kripa Shakti, that those two
Ichha
words
Shakti,
he
Yes.
used. That's what.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so last
Prabhuji,
question. Go ahead.
we are material, no? So
Yeah.
only Lord is transcendental. Only He can take us out from the material world.
He
Only
can
He has
take.
the capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk our manobal, tapobal, bahubal, anything doesn't work. Only His Kripa Shakti can help us, right? Your own endeavor, it's impossible. On the way, they will have a lot of things. So I have last question here on page 14. Excellent significance of, seeing unity, because this has come again and again, right? Unity of existence. Why it is important? Why have to see, why you just one can't love only Krishna and forget about the other thing? Why have to see other people also here? Unity.
Because creation is also of Krishna.
Hmm.
Creation is also of Krishna. Unless and until you don't respect His creation and you don't have compassion for all the other His children, how will you be? How will we be acceptable to Krishna?
Krishna. So it's a unity, right? We have to see in all Lord's creation, everywhere there's Krishna's presence is there. And together as a community, we can
सब में
thrive
हमें
and we can grow.
परमात्मा देखना चाहिए, सब में.
सब में परमात्मा देखना चाहिए. So it's a very
Yes.
important. You can't do devotion in isolation, right? You have to be.
Prabhuji,
We have to see God. Go ahead.
I कैसे खत्म होगा? False ego
I
कैसे
can.
खत्म होगा?
Yeah.
Unless and until we don't come up from the selfishness to selflessness, that
Yeah.
ego will not go. And till there is ego, we will never be acceptable to Krishna.
Okay, I'll stop here, Hari Krishna Prabhuji. So I'll stop and hand over to you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for answering.
Thank you, Prabhuji,
Thanks.
for wonderful
Thanks.
questions. Thank you,
Thanks.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Wonderful.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji.
First of all, sorry to all प्रभु ने माता जी, I became late due to some reason और फिर वाईफाई ने मेरा काम कर किया, तो मैं क्योंकि मुझे वो मैं भजन करना था, मेरा ड्यूटी थी आज, तो मैं नहीं कर पाई.
कोई बांधा नहीं माता जी.
It's
I
okay,
am
Mataji.
सब हो
feeling
गया
very
time.
guilty. I am feeling very guilty, माता जी.
No, माता जी, please. Prasad Prabhu, now you can start your class.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji's Mataji's, I'm not well. But somehow I prepared. Okay. I don't know. Fever is continuously coming even after taking Dolo 650. I don't know the reason. Okay. With the Dolo 650, it is not controlling. Maybe in a couple of days, I have to take blood test and few samples. So let me do some prayer. Mangalacharan. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chikshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Tadamuhim Tadati Swapadankita. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya. Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripe Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्वैतविनैष्टि कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय गो ब्राह्मण्यताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषन् नमो कृष्ण विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's Mataji's Dandavat Pranam. To all the Vaishnavas, lotus feet. I'm just humbly praying you all. I don't have any qualification. Forget about giving anything, reading from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. I'm such a most fallen soul. I don't have qualification to touch these such advanced scriptures, Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. I'm just following the instructions of His Grace, Charu Prabhu, and His Grace, Sharat Prabhu. I'm just trying to attempt that. I absolutely telling you with the core of my heart, I absolutely don't have any qualification in front of such a exalted devotees like you all. Hare Krishna. With this, I will start sharing the screen. Hope my voice is okay, reasonable. Okay. But definitely not
Prabhuji, it
same as
is okay. It is your voice
okay,
is
not yeah, not normal voice because I'm not well. Like let us start. Hare Krishna. Hope everybody able to see the screen. Slides.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you for confirming. So this we are starting 161 and 161, 162 and 163 all together is one theme. That is Canto 11, chapter 13. That is Amsavatara. Okay. Answers to the questions of the sons of Brahma. The chapter name is the Amsavatara. These are the questions answered by Hamsa, okay, who is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, those questions are asked by Brahma's sons. You know, right? Yeah. So they asked those questions. Brahma could not answer. And then he prayed. Then Brahma got instantly Hamsa Avatara. Hamsa Avatara has clarified all the answers, okay, for the Brahma's questions. Yeah. So that is the context, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Let us start with slide 1. So in this session, we are going to study the teachings of Hamsa Gita from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 13. So especially today, we are going to understand from sloka 1 to 14, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. 1 to 14 at a different way. One is high level view, and then Prabhupada's puppets, okay, and then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, okay. This lesson 161, which you are seeing now here, okay, the first part that we are going to see from 1 to 14, and then coming Monday in 2 days, day after tomorrow, you are going to see the lesson 162. That is teaching of Hansagita imparted to the Kumaras, the mental sons of Lord Brahma. 6 Kumaras. Okay. And then the last one, which is the next Friday, we are going to see the third part of this one, that is nature of yoga and the quest to ultimate truth. Okay. So let us straight away, without wasting much time, let us straight away jump into the first part, which we are going to see. Hare Krishna. So let us start here. Section, slide 2. So what is this he is talking about? See, in this particular section, Prabhuji's Mataji's, we are going to cover the 3 modes of nature. So generally we think, what is there for me to understand the 3 modes of nature? I already know 3 modes of nature. I know that Sattva is there, I know Rasa is there, I know Tama is there. But what is that you are going to cover next 1 hour? Even though I know Sattva, Rasa, Tama. Definitely some of these points you already aware, Prabhuji's Mataji's. But there will be definitely certain points which are completely new, okay, while we are going through these sessions, okay. So in this, the first theme is the 3 modes of nature. The 3 modes of nature. This theme explains the 3 modes of nature, that is goodness, that is sattva, and passion, that is raja, and then ignorance, tamas. So here, we are not just talking about theory, Prabhuji's Mataji's. This is explaining how our thoughts. Let's understand each and every sentence very, very carefully, Prabhuji's Mataji's. These sattva, raja, tama are going to explain how our thoughts, how our behavior, how our conscious is being shaped. So my behavior is certain way, my thoughts are in certain way, my conscious is certain way. It's all because of how much sattva I have, how much raja I have, how much tama I have. This is very important, Prabhuji's Mataji. When we are going in our congregation where 100 devotees are there, each devotee act or behave very differently. Why it is like that? It is like that. Every human, not only just devotees, every human behavior, every human thoughts, every human's consciousness, every jiva consciousness are different. It is because the 3 gunas, their sattva, rasa, tama are very different. So we have to understand this very clearly. Hope everybody got it. Okay. So what did I say? Thoughts, behavior, our consciousness. It's very important, right? Yeah. So sattva, a person seeks a clarity and knowledge. Okay, a clarity and knowledge. More sattva, the person looks for more clarity and look for more knowledge. The rasa is more of an activity driven, more of an ambition driven, more of a desire driven. Okay, and tamas is more of a laziness, confusion or ignorance. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's Mataji's, how I am trying to deliver this session is, instead of having a long sentences, I am trying to cut the entire sentence into the small parts and trying to repeat so that the message will go directly into our brain. Hope that is fine for you all. Hare Krishna. Okay. So our behavior is not random, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Okay. Our behavior, the way I am behaving is not random. The way Radha Vinod Prabhu, okay, in front of me is behaving, or Samata Mataji is behaving, it is not random. It is not at all random. It is based upon our mode. These 3 modes driven. We have to remember that. Okay. Is that make sense, Prabhuji's Mataji's? Yeah. So let us take an example. A student is studying very sincerely. Okay. He is studying very sincerely to learn the subject. We may not be expecting whether I will be getting 99 or 99.9. But he is studying very sincerely. That is sattva. There is another student. He is competing very intensely to get the top rank. That is rasa. Okay. student is ignoring the responsibilities. He is in Tama. It's a very simple example I have given Rajis Mataji's. Okay. So here there are three sections. A is more of a description, B more of a rational, and C is more of a philosophical significance. Okay. Hare Krishna. So now I'm moving to rational on the first theme. Okay. First I gave the description till now. All right. So now I'm moving to rational. Understanding these modes helps us to recognize why individuals act differently and what motivates their behavior. Okay. So why we need to understand this? That is more of a rational, right? Understanding these modes are going to help us to recognize why individuals act differently and what is motivating their behavior. So we always think why this person is behaving like this, why this person is behaving this way, why this person is behaving that way. So we expect every person behave in the same way as we think, right? No, but that doesn't happen practically. It is because my modes are different, the other person modes are completely different. Okay, so this is very important. So because now we start seeing there are some internal struggles between the higher and lower tendencies. Sattva, please remember, I'm telling one statement. Everybody please remember, Sattva pulls upward, Prabhuji's Mataji's. More Sattva, you may go to more higher planets. Yeah, maybe going to higher planets, that is what it indicates. But we don't want to go higher planets. But we want to go to Suddha Sattva. But that is a concept. The more Sattva, Sattva pulls upward. Raja pulls, Sattva pulls upward. Okay. Raja pulls outward to this material world. Yeah. And Tama pulls downward. Yeah. Yeah. Does that make sense? So this is what is Prabhupada the purpose is also talking about. Yeah. So the spiritual life begins when we start observing which mode is influencing me right now. Yeah. So if you don't even come to this Krishna consciousness, if you don't live in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we don't understand even these gunas, Prabhuji's mothers. In fact, we're so fortunate to understand these gunas, so we know why a certain person is behaving a particular way. Yeah. So when someone is reacting with anger, so we know, okay, okay, the person is more of a rasa. Yeah. So this means that they are big, okay. So when we keep on doing our sadhanas, we move from one mode to another mode, from tamas to raja, raja to sattva. Sometimes it very rarely with pure devotees association like Prabhupada, it may happen that the people might flip from tamogana to sattva as well. Okay. So is this space is looking good, Prabhuji's, Mataji's? Hare Krishna. I need some little.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. There are total 20 slides. I have to move fast. Okay. The key teaching here is that the sattva, rasa, and tama belongs to a material nature, not our true soul nature. We have to import it. We have to very, very important. See the material. See, it is clearly mentioned in the Prabhupada theme, Prabhuji's theme. The theme emphasizes that the three modes are linked to the material natures rather than one's true self soul. These are not linked to soul. These are truly material. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. So this is very important point. So what is going to happen? The soul is pure beyond the modes and it is unaffected. Yes or no? We all agree. So the real progress means not just improving our behavior, but rising above the material conditioning. Because these three are material, right? So the real spiritual progress means not just sticking to this, going beyond this material conditioning. Okay. So as I mentioned, most of the times tamas and then move to rajas and then to sattva. And then from sattva, okay, person will go to beyond modes. Should we stuck at sattva guna? No, that is not Bhagavatam is saying. We have to go beyond sattva guna. Beyond modes we have to go. Okay, Prabhuji's Mataji's. That is what is a crisp understanding of three modes of nature. So I am moving to. Is that fine, Prabhuji? Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Are you able to follow? Multiple
Prabhu.
things going on.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhu.
you are able to follow,
Yes,
right?
is fine.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. So now I'm moving to the second theme, renunciation of material modes. Okay. Correct. Renunciation of material modes. So let us understand the description of this. What does it mean? Yeah. So this theme highlights the importance of renouncing material goods, especially raja and tama, which we have to renounce. Now, so the process is gradual. Okay, what we have to do? Okay, we have to reduce the ignorance. Okay, we have to control the desire, and we have to cultivate sattva. We have to cultivate sattva. But this slide gives a very important point. What is this? Ultimately, even sattva must be transcended to reach the pure devotion. So sattva is not the goal, but it is a platform for bhakti. Why we want to go to sattva guna? That is very important. Yeah. Because if you are in the platform of tamogun, if you are in the platform of rajogun, the practicing bhakti is very difficult, Prabhuji's Maharaj. That is the reason we want to be in the platform of sattvagun. That's very important. Yeah. So, what should we do? We have to introspect ourselves, Prabhuji's Maharaj. We have to draft the notes. What kind of bad habits I have? Tamas. What kind of excessive ambition I have? Apart from Krishna conscious. Put it on paper. Put it on paper. Okay. So now, how do I overcome? I am not explaining. It will come as part of the presentation. It will come as part of the presentation. Okay. But note it down. So spiritual progress requires conscious efforts to overcome greed, anger, and laziness. Prabhuji's Mataji's. Spiritual progress requires a conscious effort to overcome greed, anger, and laziness. You want to continue with our anger. You want to continue with our laziness. You want to continue with our greed. We don't need any extra effort, Prabhuji's Mataji's. We want to overcome these three. We need conscious efforts. That is what is spiritual progress is required. Spiritual progress, if you want to have a spiritual progress, and then we need to have a conscious effort to overcome these. And it is very practical. So we must actively replace. See, what is that we should do, Prabhuji's Mataji's? Okay. If there is a dust here, I will go to wash basin, I put some water and clean it. So do you think my anger, my greed, my laziness, I can just wash it? No, I cannot wash it, Prabhuji's Mataji's. These are what? Lower tendencies. Okay. These lower tendencies have to replace with higher ones. Okay. Not just suppress. What we have to do? We have to transform. This is very important, Prabhuji's Mataji's. We should not be suppressing. If you suppress, no, it will be there only some period. But you have to transform. Okay. So how we are going to transform? That also we will discuss. Okay. So, okay. If I am too selfish, then what we have to do? We have to do service. We have to do service. Through selfishness, through service, selfishness will get away. Yeah. Okay. I'm just giving one example. So true freedom comes when we renounce the influence of material modes and recognize our eternal nature. Okay. See what it is telling? The true nature, the true freedom comes when we renounce the influence of material modes and recognize our eternal nature. Yeah. So when the modes lost the control, mind becomes when we start getting the modes. Okay, when these modes, especially raja and tamo, lost the control, mind becomes peaceful. Desires will reduce. Devotion will automatically increase. Yeah. Okay. But what we have to do, Prabhuji's Mataji's, renouncing is not easy. But what is that we need? We need to understand that we need to put a higher taste. Okay. Transformation is required. Not suppressing, transformation is required. Okay. So, but how do we need to transfer? That we will see it in subsequent slides. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Raksha Mataji, Samta Mataji, Dipti Mataji, is everybody with me till now? Harsha Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it
Yes,
making
yes,
sense?
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So I'm moving to slide 3. Okay, that is theme 3. That is discrimination and detachment. This is one of the important teaching by Hamsa, which is the Supreme Personal Godhead, to all Kumaras. Okay, let us understand what is this discrimination and detachment. So the theme 3 is talking about discrimination and detachment. What is the description? A key idea here is discrimination is between the self and material body. Most of the times, we think I am this body. No. You have to discriminate between you and your material body. Yeah. See, that is what discrimination between the self and material body. I hope you are able to see the screen. Okay. First line, discrimination between the self and material body. It is what is. So the section is asking us truly to understand who am I? Atma, which is eternal, and body is what? Temporarily. This passage or this theme is talking about teaches us we develop this clear discrimination is something naturally have natural something is very important. So we begin practicing detachment from sensory desires only when we able to discriminate these. If you don't discriminate, if you think I am this body, it is not possible to discriminate. Okay, and detachment will never come, Prabhuji Mataji. It will never come. Okay. So instead of being controlled by passion or impulses or temporary pleasures, we should start making a conscious choices. Okay. So what is that example? If someone understands the body is temporary, they will not chase for every desire for a pleasure to comfort. Yes or no? So this discrimination is very important. Very important. Very important. And you will not get a detachment unless you start discriminating. I am the soul. See, to be frankly, you trust me, 99.99% of the problems what we are facing today will be solved if you really think that I am not this body, I am soul. You all agree, disagree with that particular point. But those 99.99%, we don't think that I am the body, it won't even come to our mind. We don't even discriminate. Agree, disagree. We don't need to go and tell everyone saying that I am soul, I am soul, I am soul. But it has to be there in the heart. It has to be there in our mind that I am the soul. We don't need to tell Tom Tom saying that I am the soul, I am the soul. Then people think we are mad. But it has to be there in our mind consciously so that we don't attach to the problems what is there in today's real world, Prabhuji Maharaj. Today is lot of misery is there in this world. Is lot of fight is going on in Middle East. Everywhere there is so much problem. Everywhere there is so much problem. Lot of tension is there. Once you think that you are not this body, your soul, where all these what are all these missiles will do, Prabhuji's Mataji's? Nothing. Agree, disagree. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay. So developing this ability to distinguish between the eternal self and temporary material phenomena strengthen the self-control and personal empowerment. Developing this ability, developing the ability to distinguish between the eternal self and temporary material phenomena strengthen the self-control and personal empowerment. So this is very powerful point. So why do we lose the control? Because we think that this is me, that is me, this is mine. This is me, this is mine. Okay. But what is that we understand? This is temporary. Okay. Once we understand, automatically attachment reduces. Reactions slow down. Control. Okay. You want to control somebody, that also will come down. Okay. So the discrimination leads to what? Self-control. Yeah. Yes, sir. So instead of reacting instantly, anger comes. Okay. Instead of reacting instantly, when anger comes, desire comes, a person pauses. Is this really necessary? We have to question ourselves. Yeah. So let us understand what is this philosophy talking about on discrimination and detachment. This theme is helping us to understand the importance of discrimination in yoga and bhakti practice. See, this theme is vital understanding the practice of yoga and the path of bhakti. What it is doing, it reveals how maintain the discriminating the mindset fosters the spiritual well-being and leads to the liberation from suffering. So what does it mean? A discriminating mindset helps us to avoid suffering. Yes or no? A discriminating mindset avoids stay balanced and we can focus on the spiritual growth. Yes or no? It protects us from impulsive decisions, emotional disturbances, and material distractions. Yes or no? A devotee who practices the discrimination chooses a spiritual growth over a temporary pleasures. Yeah? So that is so powerful, discrimination and detachment. Any questions, Prabhuji's Mataji's on this particular topic? It is nothing new, you already know it. It is little more emphasizing on this particular point. Yeah. The next theme is going to be the role of devotion, devotional service. Okay. The role of devotional service. This theme concludes by emphasizing that unalloyed devotional service, bhakti, is the ultimate refuge for all of us, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So after knowledge, discrimination, and detachment, the final answer is given as what? So first, what is that we need? Knowledge, and then discriminate. Once you have discrimination, you detach. Once you detach, is this good enough, Prabhuji's, Mataji's? You have knowledge, you discriminate, and you detach. Do you think that is good enough? If you don't have bhakti, your knowledge is useless. Okay, whatever you describe discrimination, no, that will go off, and detachment will become another attachment. So the final answer is bhakti. You have to take the ultimate refuge of bhakti. Bhakti connects the individuality directly with the divine, which is Krishna. Yeah. So how can we connect? That is by chanting, by praying, by simple, sincere service. Okay. We connect to Krishna. Yeah. That is these simple principles by chanting, by praying, by doing a small service. Yeah. So let us understand a little more from rational. Sincere devotion has the power to transform a person's life. A sincere devotion has a power to transform the person's life. Yes or no? See, that is what is meant. Sincere devotion, it has a power. Yeah. So this is where the shift happens. Knowledge explains, but devotion transforms. If I have a knowledge, no, I can share it. But if I have a devotion, then only people can see transformation in me. Yeah. Through bhakti, mind becomes uplifted, purified. Desire is reduced. Purpose becomes clear. I will ask one question, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Okay. A very simple question. Okay. You may be wondering why I am asking questions again in questions on again the session as well. I don't have knowledge. I don't have discrimination. I don't have detachment. Can I do bhakti?
यस प्रभु जी। कबीर जी पढ़े हुए नहीं थे, बिल्कुल
Yes,
उन्होंने
Prabhuji.
लेकिन वो देखो कितने
Can do bhakti. Yes, you
Hmm.
can do bhakti. But the problem with that bhakti is very temporary, Prabhuji's Mataji's.
Hmm.
It's very temporary. Because you got the emotion, you heard something without proper knowledge, without proper discrimination, without proper detachment, the bhakti you can do, but that is very, very limited. That is very, very okay, superficial. It will come and it will go. Are you getting it, Mataji? Is it make sense, Raksha Mataji?
Yes, but
Yes, Prabhuji.
Rajkumari
Both
Mataji.
knowledge and bhakti both requires.
That is the reason we have to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Yeah. We don't want superficial bhakti, Mataji. Okay. Yeah. Is it making sense? So it is not that I know bhakti, that is good enough. I only sit and chant. I will not do anything. It doesn't work. You can only do certain time. After that, you need association. You need knowledge. You need detachment. All these things are required. Yeah. Okay. I just thrown the question just to make a session bit active. That's all. Okay. Um, through bhakti, mind become purified. So desire reduce. Okay. If you don't have bhakti, you have knowledge, you have discrimination, you have detachment. Was it help? No. Because you know knowledge, you become more proud. Okay. So that is the reason from day one, when a devotee comes to our satsang, we give a chanting back. We say, ask them, the person, he or she, to chant and do some service, little service. Yes or no? Because of this reason. Yeah. Is it making sense? Everything is connected, Prabhuji Mataji. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So knowledge explain, but devotion transforms. But both are required. Through bhakti, mind becomes purified. Desires reduce. Purpose becomes clear. Purpose becomes clear. Yes or no? Purpose becomes very clear. So someone practicing the devotion regularly gradually loses very harmful habits. Okay. And develops compassion. Becomes so humble. Okay. Because that devotee do service as well. And he or she does chanting as well. Then he automatically gets that humbleness. If the person only gets the knowledge, no, humbleness will not come, Prabhuji. So it is a full-fledged package. Whatever we are teaching in ISKCON, no, it's a full-fledged package. It is a teaching of complete package of Bhagavatam. Yes or no? Yeah. So let us understand more. Bhakti is the highest form of engagement with the divine. Why it is highest? Why it is highest? We always say this is highest, highest, highest. Why it is highest? Okay. The reason I will tell you. It is not just thinking, Prabhuji Mataji said. Jnanis, no, they just only think. But bhakti is not thinking, it is building relationship. Okay. And it is relationship. Okay. With what? With whom? With the divine. Yes or no? Yes or no? It's a loving relationship. That is what is bhakti. That is the reason it is the highest. And there is nothing beyond that in this planet exist. Yes or no? So through bhakti, we discover our true nature, we understand our purpose, and we connect personally with God. Prabhuji Mataji, personally we connect God. Yes or no? You all agree? So liberation and spiritual freedom. Yeah. So this leads to liberation automatically. We get a devotee who sincerely serves God, experience automatically peace and fulfillment. There is no separate thing he or she has to do. Automatically do that. You will automatically get that peace. Is it making sense, Prabhuji Mataji? Shall I move to the next slide? Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
One question. Are you
Yes,
getting any
Prabhuji.
new points, Prabhuji Mataji, as part of the session? Are you getting new points?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it making sense? Yeah. Are you able to connect the dots? Yeah.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So the next theme, that is the awareness of suffering and misery. Awareness of suffering and misery. So this passage explains, this theme explains that even when the people know their actions lead to suffering, they remain trapped in sense gratification. Prabhuji's Mataji's, this is where my problem comes. I understood all previous four themes. I understood all those four themes. But I know everything. But I'm remaining trapped in sense gratification. How many of you agree with that? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Why?
Yes,
Why like
Prabhuji.
that? Why sense gratification is still coming up? Having those four themes, we feel that we understand everything. We got the summary. We got the essence. If you do the bhakti, we are good enough. But is that happening?
But
No.
we still not applied in our life. That's why.
Sense gratification is still coming. But the question is why? We applied, we are doing japa, we are doing prayers, we are doing kirtan, we have devotee association. But still, sense gratification is not leaving. Agree, disagree? Yeah. Let us
Agreed,
understand.
agreed, Prabhuji.
Let us understand. This is
increasing.
the crux. Please listen carefully. Okay. This is very, very powerful to observe about the human nature, Prabhuji's Mataji's. We already know this will cause suffering. Don't you think that we don't know? Okay. This sense gratification will not suffer. We know it will suffer. Don't we know that this is not good for me? We know this is not good for me. But we still go for it. How many of you agree? We still go for it. Why? Because The reason is sense gratification is very, 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 very strong. The minds get attached to the pleasure, comfort, and old habits. Even when intelligence understands the consequences, because that is gratification is very, very strong. A person knows that junk food is harm for health, but still he go and consume it. At least he'll say little I'm consuming. After 1 month I'm consuming. I'm only eating Krishna Prasad. Only one day offer me. Yeah. Just because I reached here, I generally don't come here. I'm just having it. This is veg only. There is no onion garlic. How many of you agree? Yeah. A person knows
Yes,
it is.
Prabhuji, this is the main, this is the main
This is the main, this
trap,
is the crux.
main trap. Every
Prabhuji's
time we
Mataji's,
fall
we know
in.
everything. We know everything. We can preach hundreds of people. We can preach hundreds of people. But listen this very carefully. We are getting stuck in the sense gratification, Prabhuji's Mataji's. By saying this, I am not out. I'm not saying that I am out of the game. I am not saying. So listen carefully. Okay. So let us move on. This reflects the human condition, the conflict between the knowledge and behavior. Listen carefully. What is happening here? What is happening, Prabhuji's Mataji's? This reflects the human condition, the conflict between knowledge and behavior. When nobody is there, listen carefully. When nobody is around, my behavior uplifts. When I'm in among hundreds of devotees, my knowledge. I show up my knowledge. Samta Mataji, Raksha Mataji, Radha Vinod Prabhu, you all agree with that? Yeah. So
Yes,
intelligence says
Prabhuji.
one thing. Intelligence
Yes,
says one
Prabhuji.
thing. Mind and sense pulls another direction. We should have a learning Prabhuji's Mataji's. Friday evening 8 o'clock we were sitting here. What is my takeaway to my home? We should have. Not just jnana. Not just jnana. This is not a jnana yajna. This is bhakti yajna. Okay? Let us understand. Yeah? We are not learning jnana here. No. That is not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, have knowledge for transformation. Yeah. So intelligence says one thing. Mind and sense pulls to another thing. So life becomes understanding but not applying. Raksha Mata said this statement. We have understanding but we are not applying. We are knowing but not controlling. So controlling senses is not easy. Without spiritual discipline, we remain weak. Yes or no? So what is the reason? What is the reason? What is the reason for all the things which I have mentioned? Tell me. What is the reason? I said one
Three
sentence.
modes of material nature.
Three modes of spirit.
Tama.
That is all we understood. Spiritual discipline, spiritual weakness, spiritual
Attachment
strength
to
नहीं
sense
है.
gratification.
Spiritual strength नहीं है. इसलिए we are becoming controlled by sense gratification.
His mind is very
Understood?
chanchal, like Arjun told
Man
to
is so chanchal.
Krishna.
Why?
Yes.
Because I did not got the test. My faith is not fully strong. I still think that I have so much time. Agree, disagree? Agree, disagree?
Yes, Prabhuji. We feel
Without
there is
spiritual
lot of
discipline,
time.
without spiritual discipline, we remain weak. I am doing 16 malas. How many malas I heard completely today? Out of 16. Did I heard 16 malas completely? 16 into all the mantras, 108 mantras, 16 into 108, which came around close to 25,000 God's names. Did I heard 25,000 God's names clearly? How much I heard? Did I heard 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. How much jnana I got? No. No. Because jnanis cannot control, sense control. It's not possible. Only bhaktas can do. Okay? Because these senses Okay, a devotee, a pure devotee thinks that these senses are not for my satisfaction, for Krishna's satisfaction. Yes or no? Yeah. So it is because of lack of spiritual discipline. Yeah. So a person knows anger is harmful, but still reacts impersonally in stressful situations. This is a gap between knowledge versus behavior. So by recognizing the struggle, this team encourages awareness and mindfulness. What is this is giving us, Prabhuji's Mataji's? Mindfulness, awareness. How much aware we are during our japa, how much aware we are, how much mindfulness we have during our japa today, during our sadhana today, during our prayer today, during my Mangalaharti today. Hare Krishna? Yeah, that is matters. That is what is the philosophical significance. This is where the transformation begins, not by blaming, not by suppressing, by becoming aware. By becoming what? Aware. That is what he's saying. Awareness of suffering and misery. Yeah. So when we observe why I am reacting, what is driving this behavior, okay, we can control clarity. We gain control. We gain clarity. We gain conscious choice. Okay. So, so practices like self-reflection is very important. What is that we have to do? Self-reflection. What we do? I have to do 16 malas, let me complete it. I have to do Ekadasi fasting, let me complete it. I have to give a session, let me complete it. I have to do Mangala Harati, let me complete it. I have to do Kirtan Seva today, let me complete it. There's no self-reflection. How, what is the period we are doing a self-reflection? My Siksha Guru says that you have to do self-reflection every Ekadasi. And what is the level of increase in your spirituality or japa? Yeah. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to pause, observe, and respond. Yeah. Instead of reacting blindly for everything. Something happened. Something happened. Pause. Pause. Somebody came. He was trying to shout, he or she. Pause. Observe. Why he is shouting? Respond. Just because other person is shouting, you don't shout. Is that is making sense, Prabhuji's Mataji's? I need some responses. So conclusion. Together, these themes create a framework for understanding human behavior from the spiritual perspective. So now, if you look all of them together, they explain why we struggle, why we repeat our mistakes, why we feel dissatisfied. And they also show how to move towards higher living. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that is the conclusion. So the teachings act both as a guide for self-improvement and a philosophical elaborate of reality. This teaching is act both as a guide for self-improvement and philosophical exploration of reality. So it's not just a theory, it is a practical guide for our life, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Bhagavatam, this chapter is not a theory, it's a practical life, practical guide for our life. It teaches us to move beyond the temporary pleasure, to move beyond, seek deeper meaning, this teaches us to seek deeper meaning, to move beyond temporary pleasures, to align with our spiritual truth. Yeah? Okay. So instead of measuring success as a wealth or status, we shift towards inner growth and wisdom and spiritual purpose. Okay. So what is this? All these slides are talking about. So we understood the gunas. Okay. And we understood that we need to cultivate sattva for bhakti practicing. And then we start understanding discriminating. And then these all required to practice bhakti. And then we need to understand what is our weakness, even though we practice bhakti. Agree, disagree? And that is a complete package, Prabhuji Mataji. Does it make sense? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Definitely.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji. Very nice.
so instead of giving elaborate sentences, I'm trying to give cut short words, words, and emphasizing because you already know the philosophy, Prabhuji. Yeah. Okay. Let us now deep dive into BPT purports. Okay. Now we move to slide 5. That is again, you all know the pattern, right? First, we'll have a high level view for all those 1 to 14 slokas, and then BPT, and then VCT. Okay. But I gave you a quick summary at a starting itself. Yeah. So generally, at what time we have to close? 9:30, right? 9:30 we have to close, and then 9:30
Yes,
to 10
Prabhuji.
is end.
9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe today, because slides are too heavy, okay, it may go till 9:40. I'll try to close by 9:40. Okay. Okay, slide 5. Okay, theme. So 3 modes of material nature. Okay, that is the theme here. So this theme explains the 3 modes of material nature, which is called goodness sattva and passion raja and ignorance tamas. These modes strongly influence the human behavior and consciousness. To a great extent, you all understood. So, but this is little more text is being given. Sattva is a purity, knowledge, and harmony. Raja is a desire, ambition, and restlessness. And tama is confusion, laziness, and delusion. So the key point from this particular slide is 3 modes are constantly interacting. So our state is keep changing from clarity to desire to confusion. Again, some confusion, some desire, again some clarity comes. Okay, it's oscillating between these 3. Yeah. Next, what is that? The first one. Okay, A is in-depth
Prabhuji, it
understanding.
is also called permutation combination. Right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's oscillating, Mataji. Like when you wake up, no, you may have more of sattva, and then more of rasa, and then the more it comes to the night, no, you will have more of tama. Yeah, it is a oscillation. Okay, so let us understand. So the interaction among the sattva, rasa, and tama explains why human behavior constantly changes. Yeah. So first A is a description, and B is of in-depth understanding, and C is a philosophical description. So next few slides from themes 1 to 7, you will follow this particular format. So this is very important. We often think I changed, or my mood is changed. Yeah, but actually what is changed? Actually guna is shifted. My mood is not good, we say no. But actually what is changed? The guna is changed. Agree, disagree? Yeah, my mood is changed. Actually the guna is shifted. So from the purport, from these particular details, okay, mind is influenced by gunas. Intelligence is also influenced by these gunas. So behavior is equals to, the behavior is what? Guna driven. Our behavior is what? Guna driven. When we understand this, we develop self-awareness. When that self-awareness comes, when we know that these gunas are acting on me. All right. So if anger arises, we consciously choose. Okay, when anger arises, when we know all these things, when we have this knowledge, when we are doing a sadhana, then generally, we choose little patience. This means that if you do, when we get an anger, when we choose a patience, no, that is means like you are moving to sattva. Okay, means we are elevating our consciousness. Yeah, that is what is the B is more talking about, and the C is philosophical significance. Okay, these modes belongs to the material nature, not for true self, true soul. This is a key realization. The soul is pure, the soul is unchanging, the soul is beyond gunas. But due to the identification, I am angry, I am lazy, I am this body. So the gunas are acting on mind. So what is the teaching here for this in this section? Okay, spiritual progress rising above the lower tendencies. We have to move towards sattva. Okay, and then you will have a more opportunities to transcend all these 3 modes. If you don't move to sattva, it is not possible for to transcend all these 3 modes. We have to remember. So you want to take a flight to be landed. You have to go to airport, and then it has to take fast, and then it will kick off. Okay, after running. some X number of kilometers. Yes, sir. Like that, want to do bhakti, you need sattva. Okay. So, as given the thought, self-discipline, meditation, devotion, a person moves from tama to rasa, and then to sattva. And then from sattva, the person will become transcendent. So, what is this particular slide is talking about? The previous slide is talking about, okay, this slide 5 is explaining, okay, is about how they interact dynamically, how they shape our behavior, and how awareness leads our consciousness elevation. We have to become aware, Prabhuji Mataji, these gunas. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Now I am moving to second theme, that is cultivation of goodness. What is that? Cultivation of goodness. That is sattva. So this particular slide is talking about how do I cultivate sattva, because sattva is very important, right? So Prabhuji has dedicated one complete slide for sattva. How do I cultivate goodness? Okay. This section highlights the importance of cultivating the mood of goodness, sattva. So here the focus shifts from understanding the gunas, okay, to actively cultivating sattva. Okay. This slide clearly says that we must take intentional actions to develop sattva. It is very important. We have to take intentional steps. Prabhuji's Matajis don't think that we are all in sattva. Most of the times, okay, because I am reading Bhagavad Gita, I am reading Bhagavatam, it is a perception that it creates that I am in sattva. Don't think that we are all under a sattva guna. Okay. So how do I know that which guna I am? You have to introspect ourselves. We have to introspect ourselves. Yeah. But these sessions, the weekend sessions, are helping us to keep us sattva for the rest of the week. Okay. That is what it is. They are helping. Yeah. So let us understand. So this theme, this slide clearly says that we must take the intentional actions to develop sattva. That includes following some ethical guidelines. It's very important. Eating nourishing sattvic food, associating with positive and spiritually mindset people. We have to do these 3 points, Prabhuji's Mataji. That is what this slide is talking about. What is that we have to do? We have to follow ethical guidelines. And then we have to eat nourishing sattvic food, means prasadam. And then we should associate with positive and spiritual mindset people. Then we will have a sattva guna. So why? Because sattva purifies the mind and elevates our consciousness. Because of that, we need to have sattva guna. There could be a question, why we should have sattva guna? Yeah. So that also answered here. So as mentioned here, a simple clean food, a truthful speech, okay, good association naturally increase our clarity and peace. Yes or no? Yeah, that is what it is talking about. Okay, so cultivation of goodness requires conscious effort. It's not a active pursuit. This is very important shift. Sattva does not come automatically, Prabhuji's Matajis. It must be built daily. What we are doing, we have to build daily. Okay, means every day improve your 0.1% or 0.2% of our sattva guna. Improve 0.1% or 0.2% of sattva guna. So daily we have to construct. He said build daily. That is what he's saying. So from the purpose we see that like what we eat affects our mind. What we think, it will shape our behavior. What we associate with builds our consciousness. You want me to repeat these words? What we eat, it will affect our mind. What we think, it will shape up our behavior. What we associate with builds our consciousness. With whom we are associating, that consciousness will come for us, Prabhuji's Mataji's. It's very important. You want to screw up our consciousness, you may go with anybody. So cultivating sattva means living intentionally. That is the reason I started with this particular session. We think that we know sattva guna, we know rajaguna, we know tamoguna. Yes, we know. But what is the most important? We have to important how do you build the Sattva-guna. It doesn't come for free, Prabhuji's Mataji's. It is not a free thing in market. You have to put a conscious effort every day. How many of you read this book? 1%. It's a management book. 1% improvement every day. I don't know the other, but it's a very famous book. 1% improvement every day. So Sattva-guna is also like that only. What we eat affects our mind. So eat prasadam. What we think shapes our behavior. What we associate build our consciousness. Yeah. So choose our prasadam, our food. Practicing self-discipline, very important. Engaging in service, very important for us. All these things refines our character, our thinking, our awareness. Prabhupada has not given the structure just like that. He knows that all these things will impact and we will have very good sattvaguna and automatically that is a platform for us to do bhakti. See how smart he is. How smart he is. Okay. Spiritual growth comes through a disciplined, practical and mindful choices. Spiritual growth comes through disciplined practice and mindful choices. So sattva is not just a moral goodness. It is a preparation for a spiritual realization. Okay. From the purpose, we see that without sattva, mind is disturbed. With sattva, mind becomes fit. Okay. And it will take knowledge and it can do bhakti. So transformation begins with this changed lifestyle, Prabhuji's Mataji's. This changed lifestyle. Yeah. When a person replaces negative habits, okay, negative habits to spiritual practices, they experience peace, they experience clarity, they experience deep understanding. Yeah. Yeah. So in previous slide, we understood gunas. In this slide, how to actively change our state. How do we acquire more? Sattva is the one we understood. Hare Krishna, everybody is with me? Are you following? How many slides we are going through is not important. How much is going to our minds is very important.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It is not a one-day job getting Sattva-guna. It is not 1 month job. It is a lifetime exercise, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. It is a wealth, real wealth, getting Sattva-guna. But is that is good enough? No, that is only a launching pad. If I don't have a launching pad, can I fly? No, I cannot fly. I need launching pad. Let us build that launching pad and fly. That is bhakti. Is that making sense? Is that giving some correlation? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Let's move to next slide, slide 7.
Yes, Prabhu.
Religious principles and devotional service. Okay, religious principles and devotional service. This passage, this theme explains that the mode of goodness, sattva, forms the foundation of religious principles. So here the teaching is dharma. See, I always got a confusion between dharma and bhakti. Prabhuji's Mataji's. Today you will hear what is dharma, what is bhakti. What is relation between these? Which one is higher or which one is lower? What is the relation? That all you will understand today. Okay. I had this particular question. Somebody will be say that I am dharma, I have dharma. Okay. What does it mean? We'll understand that today. Okay. The passage explains that the mode of goodness, sattva, forms a foundation in religious principles. So the teaching is dharma is a religious principle, begins with sattva. So without clarity, no right judgment. Without purity, no sincerity. So when the person lives in sattva, they naturally move towards authentic devotional service to Krishna. This slide highlights the key shift. Okay. From the religion is not just rules. It is not external actions. It is developing a love and devotion for the divine. Okay. Religion principles is there for what? For loving devotional service. For devotional service, these religion principles are there. A person is practicing honesty, compassion, humility, naturally becomes inclined towards prayer, chanting, and devotion, Prabhuji Mataji. A honesty, compassion, humility is like a very good fertile ground. Agree, disagree? I don't have honesty, I don't have compassion, I don't have humility. How can I do prayer? How can I do good chanting? How can I have devotion? But I have all these three. You chanting back. That person will do sincere japa. because land is so fertile. Yeah. So moving to B. This theme shows the transformation power of genuine religion practice. So this is very important. There are two types of religion. One is mechanical rituals and habit oriented. This is external religion. What is external religion? Mechanical rituals are habit based. They are just habit based. That is external religion. But what is internal religion? Devotion, sincerity, transformation. So this text teaches us a true devotion religion becomes routine without meaning. Without true devotion, religion becomes routine. What is this passage is telling? Without true devotion, religion becomes routine without meaning. Yes or no? How many customs we see without any meaning? Huh? Because there is no devotion. If someone performs the worship just as a duty, no transformation. If someone performs worship just as a duty, then there will not be any transformation. If somebody performs worship with love, a deep spiritual growth will takes place. Some action, different consciousness. Okay. So what is that philosophical significance history? A genuine religious life centers on love and devotion, not merely on rules. A genuine religious life centers on love and devotion, not merely on rules. Okay. This is a key philosophical point. We are not saying that rules are not required. Rules for to improve devotion, Prabhuji's Mataji's. But rules are not the life. Yeah. So dharma meant to a guide behavior, pure to purify the mind. But its pure purpose is fulfilled only when it leads to bhakti. Somebody is very dharmic. No. Should not be stopping there. He has a good behavior. He has a purity of mind. But that particular thing should take to bhakti. That is very important. Okay, if somebody is stuck with dharma, what happens? Okay, he will have too much proud, saying that I am very dharmic. I am very dharmic. Okay, so rules give discipline, sattva gives clarity, bhakti gives transformation. See, so wonderful. Rules required. That is for what? Discipline. Sattva gives what? Clarity. After sattva, we have to do what? Bhakti. Then that bhakti gives what? Transformation. Agree, disagree? So, helping others as an application, dharma. With love, that is bhakti. I am helping. With love, that is bhakti. You are doing helping, just that is application, that is dharma. Okay. Okay. Shall I move to next slide? Haribol. Hope everybody is with me. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
The illusion of material life. Okay. The illusion of material life. Okay. This is Team A is talking about this section explains the illusion of material life, where individuals remain trapped in the cycle of pleasure seeking, even though they know that leads to suffering. Prabhuji's Mataji's. We know very clearly. What is it we know? Okay. Individuals remain trapped in the cycle of pleasure seeking. We've been trapped, Prabhuji's Mataji's. This trapped is very important. We've been trapped in the cycle of pleasure seeking. Agree, disagree? We've been trapped. Even though we know that this leads suffering. See, such a pathetic situation. A rat know that if I go inside, I may stuck. That rat still go because it want to taste. What happens? The rat gone inside, the door is closed. Prabhuji Mataji. Ours is the exact situation. Ours is the exact situation. Exact situation. Yeah. This is very real and uncomfortable truth. Many times things are not uncomfortable, Prabhuji's Mataji's, but this is uncomfortable. The text highlights the contradiction. We know something is temporary. We know something is temporary. We know that leads dissatisfaction. Yet we still pursue it. This is called what? Maya. Illusion. Uddhava is questioning this, highlights this condition. Why do people repeating this the same pattern? Prabhuji's Mataji's. Why these people are repeating the same thing, same pattern? As given, someone chases wealth, status, expecting happiness, but ends dissatisfaction. Still continue chasing. Still continue chasing. Okay. So let us move to B, team B. In-depth understanding, strong narrative. This theme reveals the paradox of human existence. We understand that this is temporary. This will not satisfy me. But still we cling for it. You know, this is happening because we are conditioning. And on top of that, we have gunas and we have bad habits. Because of that, we have this compulsion. Okay, the mind is trained to seek pleasure and repeat the patterns and ignore consequences. So it's such a foolish mind we have, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Mind seek pleasure, repeat patterns, ignore consequences. Yes or no? Animals chasing desires dispose of danger. Yes or no? This is exactly how the humans behave. Know the and danger, and still we are attracted. That is what Maya is. Like addiction, repeated mistakes, emotional patterns. Even after suffering, we go back again. The deeper meaning points towards the liberation, that is moksha. This is the turning point. When we deeply understand material pleasure is temporary, then we start asking what is permanent. This leads for detachment, reflection, and spiritual seeking. So this slide clearly says that recognizing illusion, Prabhuji's Mataji's, please remember this sentence very carefully. Recognizing illusion leads us to transcend attachments and seek lasting fulfillment. Let me read the sentence again. Recognizing illusion leads us to transcend attachments, to come out of these attachments and seek lasting fulfillment. So the fulfillment is spiritual, not material. So instead of chasing for temporary pleasures, we move towards devotion, meditation, and service. So what is this slide is teaching us? This slide is not just about illusion. It is about breaking the cycle of desire, action, and suffering and repetition. So what is the key takeaway for us? Problem is not lack of nature. The problem is what? Lack of transformation. I want everybody to say this. What is problem? Problem is not lack of knowledge. Problem is not lack of knowledge. What is problem? Problem is lack of transformation. Transformation. That is where
Lack
we
of
have to
transformation.
focus. Transition. Okay. So let us see. Next, what we'll say. We know all these problems. So naturally the question comes. If the problem is the mind, how do you control it? That is the next slide. You know, what is the next slide? Very important slide, that is mind control and meditation. How do you control the stupid mind? Whatever we have seen, Maya, blah, 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 we discussed. We're not able to come out. Then how do you nourish our mind? Yeah. Okay, mind control and meditation. Let us start with this. Prabhuji has given everything in one PPT. One PPT is good enough for us to change our life. Okay. Description. What is the description he's talking about in this theme? This section highlights the transformation power of spiritual practices. Till now we discussed what is that we need. We have knowledge, but we need transformation. Now we are talking about how do you get the transformation. Revolve, everybody is with me? Okay. After understanding the illusion of material attachment in the previous slides, okay, how do you overcome it? So, what is the solution? Solution is very simple. It is two-letter word. Everybody wants to hear those two-letter word. Discipline and japa meditation. What is solution? Discipline and japa meditation. So this clearly says that by focusing mind on Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna only says. Mataji can give that sloka also. By focusing the mind on Krishna, individuals can rise above the distractions and negative influences. So, but still I am not able to focus because you are not focusing on Krishna. You are not focusing on Krishna. You are clinging to these attachments. Baba, I am not improving. I am having attachments. It is because your mind is not focusing on Krishna. This means the problem is the mind. The solution is also through mind. Haribol, everybody with me. The problem is the mind, and the solution is also through mind only. So practice like a japa, prayer, meditation, a sincere japa, a sincere prayer, sincere this Mangalarti help to calm the mind, redirect our attention, reduce our distractions. So the moving to B, the mind is very powerful force. This is very important. The mind is not a weak, it is extremely powerful. It can bind us through a desire, it can liberate through focus. Listen this very carefully. It can bind us through desire, it can bind us because of our desire, it can liberate us because of my focus and my japa. There is no difference between Krishna and japa. Krishna and Nama, there is no change. So let me focus on name. 2 hours I am spending. Everybody has to do that. That is Prabhupada's rule. 16 malas. It will take 2 hours. So you have 2 hours to be with Krishna. So you are not with Krishna. So suffer. From the purport, we are understanding that if mind is uncontrolled, it runs towards senses. It follows habits, bad habits. It repeats our patterns. If it is controls, it becomes steady. It becomes focused. It becomes spiritual. Listen very carefully again. I am repeating the same sentence. If the mind is uncontrolled, it runs towards senses. It runs bad habits. It repeats our patterns. If it is controlled, it becomes steady. It becomes focused. It becomes spiritual. Through the meditation, breath control and routine, mind becomes very pure, very controlled, and very focused. So we have to train and give direction. Yeah, a person who meditates daily reacts less, thinks clearly, stays calm. Okay, so that is what this slide is talking about. Mind control is essential for higher consciousness. Mind control is essential for higher consciousness, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So this is foundational principle for yoga and bhakti. Okay. So purifying mind. So from a deeper understanding, liberation is not outside. It is through purifying our mind. Liberation is not outside. It is through purifying our mind. Through self-discipline and meditation, one discovers the true spiritual nature. Okay. That means that we stop identifying with thoughts. We realize that we are Atman. Okay. So let's move on. So what is that we understood? In this slide, we understood mind control is very, very important. Let's move to next slide, slide 10. The role of association. Prabhuji's Mataji's, this slide you know very, very clearly. This section emphasizes the importance of association and environment in shaping one's spiritual life. So here teachings becomes very practical. Our growth is not only based upon knowledge and effort. No, our knowledge and our effort is limited. Association and environment, it matters. It is being influenced by our association and environment. So keeping the company of people who embody godness, means sattva people, helps individuals to grow spiritually. This means we absorb qualities from others. Please remember this, we absorb quality from others. We gradually become like our surroundings. Yes or no? So you being around sattvic devotees, very important. If someone associated with disciplined people, devotees, spiritually focused individuals, okay, then naturally we develop what? Similar habits, similar thinking. Yeah. So our surroundings and relationships strongly influence our attitude and beliefs and behavior. This is very important. So association does not just influence externally, it shapes our thinking. See, association is shaping our thinking. Association is shaping our desires. Association is shaping our priorities. Very important. So positive associates, sattva, elevate our consciousness. Negative association, we pull downward. Agree? So community and environment play a crucial role in spiritual development. Please remember this. You want spiritual development? Have sattvic people. Not just sattvic. who are devotees only. That is what this theme is talking about. Okay, so we are already 9:33. So, but we know this association is important. I will go little fast. Okay, slide 11. Transcendental knowledge and awakening. This section explains that we cultivate goodness and engage in devotional practices. We awaken transcendental knowledge. So this slide shows the result of everything which we have done above. Understanding the gunas, cultivating sattva, controlling the mind, and choosing the right association. Now what is helping us? Awakening our transcendental knowledge. This is what happens. So this knowledge is beyond the senses and helps us to understand our eternal identity as a spirit soul. So this is not a sensory knowledge or internal knowledge. This is actually realization. So when someone practices chanting and meditation, what happens? That particular they begin feel that I'm not this body, I'm the soul at some point in a deep chanting. Okay, that practical reality will come. That is what is this theme is talking about. Okay, so there is a break, but let's move on. So moving on to next slide, slide 13. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Till everybody with me. Hare Bol.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. I'm just continuously just keep on moving. I don't know. Okay. Okay, slide 13. What is that this is theme is talking about? Gunas, the three modes of material nature. Okay. Slide 13, the gunas of this is here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Little more information is coming here. So this text explains the three gunas, Sattva, Rasa and Tama. But VCT, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, emphasizes that how they shape the inner psychology and of the conditioned soul. So here the same concept of gunas are revised, but now a deeper focus on the mind. So Sattva is, we all know that clarity and all that. Rajita is a restlessness, Tamas is creates a confusion. But the key addition here is that they are not just categories, they are the forces actively competing inside the mind. It means morning we have sattva and day rasa and night laziness. So this shows that oscillation between the clarity and illusion. I think Mataji was also telling, I think Raksha Mataji is saying, yes, this is the oscillation. That is what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also saying. Recognizing the gunas is the first steps toward the spiritual awareness. This is very important. We have to recognize that we are behaving like this because of these gunas. This is what VCT goes deeper than BBT. The point is just understand the gunas. The point is become aware of them while they are acting. Become aware of them while they are acting. That is very important. Because when we are unaware, gunas control us. When we are aware, we can take a step back and we can bring back. We can come back to Sattva-guna. That is what he's telling. That is the reason we have to aware. Okay. So awareness creates observation, detachment, and control. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. So cultivating sattva is necessary but that is not final goal. That is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling. This is the most important. Okay. The point. Okay. VCT, Vishwanath Chakravarti says, do not stop at sattva guna because sattva still binds through attachment to peace, attachment to knowledge. So the final goal is transcend all three gunas. And how? Okay, that is through bhakti. You have to transcend through all three gunas. But how? That is through bhakti. That is what this slide is talking about. A person practicing japa, spiritual study, devotional services gradually becomes less affected by anger, less driven by desires. Yeah, less pulled by laziness. Yes or no? And freedom become freedom from gunas. Okay. Yeah. Let's move to next slide. Slide 14. That is again Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's one, cultivation of Sattva Guna. Okay. Here also there are some specific points which we have. How do you cultivate our Sattva Guna? Okay. There was a slide from BPT point of view as well. And this is from VCT point of view. This section explains that cultivating Sattva is not just a preliminary setup, but an essential transformative journey. See, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, this is not optional, Baba. This is essential. You want to transform, you have to come to Sattva-guna. So VCT takes the idea of Sattva-guna as a step deeper. Okay, Sattva is good qualities. Sattva is purification process of the mind. Yeah, increasing Sattva purifies the mind, so it becomes capable of understanding the spiritual truth. So without Sattva, mind is disturbed. Knowledge is unclear. Devotion is weak, weak, weak. For many devotees, devotion is weak. Why? 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 Sattva is not there. Sattva is not there. Mind, okay, when we have mind is disturbed, the knowledge is unclear, devotion is weak. But with sattva, mind becomes calm, thinking becomes clear, heart becomes receptive. Yeah. So sadhana for sattva is very, very essential, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Yeah. A person who studies scriptures, meditates, associates with devotees, naturally develops calmness, clarity, and composure. So, in-depth understanding, sattva must be cultivated intentionally through conscious choices. See what is he saying? Sattva must be cultivated intentionally through conscious choices. Consciously, we have to build it. We see it emphasizes that sattva is not a natural. It is built through a life cycle, lifestyle. See, it is not a naturally you'll get. No. It has to be built in our lifestyle. Prabhuji's Matajis, are you agreeing? Yeah. So it depends upon our prasadam, what we are taking, our food, our habits, and our association. Food influence our mind, habits shape our thinking, association shapes our desires. So cultivation means designating your life consciously. So cultivation of sattva means designating our life consciously. Sattva doesn't come just like that. No. This creates an environment supportive of a spiritual patience practice. Spiritual practice is required. In this environment, you do bhakti. A person with a disciplined routine, mindful eating, regular prayer develops a steady and focused mind. Yeah, that is sattva. Sattva serves as a bridge. Please remember this. Sattva serves as a bridge to a higher spiritual realization. But it is not a final destination. It is a bridge. Bridge is not a final destination, right? Yeah. This is the most important of VCT teaching here. Sattva is necessary, essential, but still within material nature. Even sattva is also material guna, material nature. So Vishuddha Sattva, VCT introduces Vishuddha Sattva, which means pure spiritual consciousness beyond gunas. So the process of Tama, removing ignorance, Raja, reducing devil, Sattva, purifying mind, then moves to Bhakti, that is Vishuddha Sattva. A person practicing steady meditation service becomes less reactive, less desire driven, and then he is ready to do pure devotion. That is the summary we understood. Now let's move quickly to slide 14. Sorry, slide 15. Yeah, I think next few minutes I should be able to close. Okay, slide 15. Religious principles and dharma. What is this? Religious principles and dharma. Okay. This section explains that the true religious principles, dharma, are best practiced when the person cultivates in the mode of goodness, sattva. So here VCT is connecting two important ideas. Sattva leads to dharma. Please remember that. Sattva leads to dharma. When a person is in sattva, thinking becomes clear, actions becomes balanced, decisions becomes ethical. So naturally, they begin to follow dharma. But dharma is not merely external duty. Dharma is not merely external duty, but aligned with devotion. That is very important. Dharma is not merely external duty, but it is aligned with devotion. That is what is bhakti. That means dharma is not just rules and responsibilities. It must be connected to Krishna bhakti. A person in sattva speaks truth, acts responsibility, helps others. But when connects to bhakti, they do service to Krishna, which is the highest. So true dharma cannot exist independently of devotion. See, somebody says that I am dharma, but I don't have devotion. That is not true, VCT says. True dharma cannot exist independently of devotion. So this is where the VCT goes deeper than in general teaching. Without bhakti, dharma becomes mechanical. See here, this is where I said very important. Dharma becomes mechanical, ego-driven, limited to material level, without bhakti. With bhakti, dharma becomes meaningful, heartfelt, spiritual uplifting. And this is very important. And at least this is a very important learning for me. Dharma becomes mechanical, ego-driven, limited to material if it is only, if that doesn't have devotion. But dharma becomes, with bhakti, meaningful, heartfelt, and spiritual uplifting. Prabhuji's Mataji's. So transformation happens when when duty becomes devotion. Transformation happens only when duty becomes devotion. Duty becomes devotion. Okay. So help others. Helping others as an application dharma. But with love and devotion, that is bhakti or prema. Okay. So sattva plus dharma plus bhakti. Then that is a true spiritual transformation will be there. Okay. So let's move to the next slide, slide 16. Okay. I'm sorry I'm taking a little more time, but we'll cut down Q&A and we'll have next week if you have more Q&A. Okay. Slide 16. Transcendental of material identification. Transcendental of material identification. This section highlights the need for a transcendent material identification with the body and mind. So here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur addresses the root problem to all suffering. That is misidentification. We think I am the body. My identity is based on my appearance, status, and profession. But this theme reminds us that our reality is Atman, the eternal self. This body is temporary and it is changing. It's subject to birth and death. Yeah. So attachment to wealth, fame, or physical beauty keep the soul bound. Yeah. This material identification you know it very, very clearly. So I'm moving to next slide, slide 17. Okay. Hare Krishna. That is role of jnana. That is role of jnana. Jnana is also very important. So what is that is very important. We'll see quickly. This section explains that jnana knowledge is essential in the pursuit of spiritual liberation. See, now we understand guna, sattva, dharma, and I am Atman. The next question is, how do you sustain and guide this understanding? That is jnana. Through jnana, only individuals learn to see that beyond the illusion created by the gunas. Yeah. So the knowledge helps us to understand sattva, rajatama operate and recognize that these are not only the real identity. Yeah. So when someone studies the spiritual teachings and they begin to see anger, which is raja, laziness, tamas, all these things, not me, not me. Yeah, they will have that understanding. So spiritual growth requires active engagement with knowledge. This is where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a strong point. Jnana is not passive reading, theoretical learning. It is it is discriminant reflection and application. Yeah. So the knowledge must be thought about and it should be questioned and it should be applied in life. That is what is knowledge we've been talking here. So the true jhana helps us to detect gunas in real time, makes better choices, align actions with spiritual glows. Let me read again. True jnana helps us to detect gunas in real time, makes life better, makes better choices, align actions with a spiritual goals. Okay. So I am becoming angry. Instead of reacting, shifted to calmness and patience. That is what is this particular slide is talking about. Let's move to, I think, yeah, 2 more slides are there. That's it. Okay. Slide 18. That is discipline in spiritual practice. It's very important. This section stresses the importance of discipline in spiritual practices. So now teaching becomes very practical. So knowledge, understanding Atman and awareness. Without discipline, progress will not be there. Okay. A disciplined approach, which is vigilance, routine and focus is required. So discipline is very, very essential. This means regular practice and consistency and commitment is very important. So the practices are meditation, prayers, and ethical living. These are very essential for us. And in this, consistency is required. Okay, that is what is this slide is talking about. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I'll stop sharing it. Okay. Last few slides, I think I have put, I have quickly run through. The reason for that is we're running out of time. Yeah. It's already 9:48. But majority of the points already been covered, okay, in the similar themes. But these are all from slokas 1 to 14 from the chapter 13 of Canto 10. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. I really don't know, okay, what I have delivered. Still having fever.
Very
Okay.
nice, Prabhuji. It was a deep understanding. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Despite your sickness, your fever, still you have managed to give such a wonderful presentation. Very thankful to you. And may Lord quickly make you recover fast. Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
So yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
no, Prabhuji, after you.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a nice class, but again, it's a, jump complexity of terms and, how you control, but the same underlying principle, all the gunas and how discrimination, the main focus you bringing is the discriminate and then take action, right? And that is the intelligence, right? That's what we said, that is the intelligence. And despite all that mechanical juggleries and all that, only the spiritual strength can help one. Even if you try to discriminate, again, our innate nature is enjoyment, right? So that again supersedes. So a lot of crisscrossing is there as we are talking, right? So only the ultimate spiritual strength can help us on that. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice. And again, take care of your health. I think that is also important. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम. So wonderful class प्रभु जी. So many takes away. बहुत सीखना है प्रभु जी. थैंक यू प्रभु
Yeah.
जी. गुरु कैसे
Thank you,
असर
Prabhu.
करते हैं हमारे पे, हम जानते हुए भी कैसे वापस चले जाते हैं. रियली इट हैपेंस टू एवरीवन, क्योंकि हमें मालूम तो है मगर अभी तक अभी इतना अप्लाई नहीं हो पा रहा है. इट इज वेरी ट्रू. इट नीड्स वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एसोसिएशन, साधना, स्ट्रिक्ट साधना. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्णा. धन्यवाद प्रणाम.
Thank you.
Done.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanvat Pranam Prabhuji, amazing class. I actually feel that this is a very, very important chapter to kind of go through again and again. And you presented a complete package, and each step was like relating to, like one step was going to another step. So very step-by-step method that you nicely presented. So my question is, because it is uncontrollable, because even Arjuna said that mind is uncontrollable. So you said that it is um, to like mind is the ultimate power and it is the enemy also, like the way you use it basically. So it's like a demon. You have to engage him, otherwise it will go into wrong actions.
Yes, Mataji.
Right.
Yes.
So, but we keep sense gratification is not an easy thing to overcome. But
It is not easy, Mataji.
how to kind of, I mean, still keep going besides.
Fighting back, Mataji. We have to fight back. Fight back. Because the problem is, Mataji, we are in this society, in this world. Okay. See, you want to listen one YouTube lecture. Just say example, Mataji. Okay. Like Prabhuji session, one Prabhuji or one Maharaj session you want to hear. Your Guru Maharaj session you want to hear, Mataji. Listen. Then after that, like after 30 minutes of session, automatically something will pop up, Mataji. Okay. Yeah. So automatically, without we knowing ourselves, we click that. Okay. Something else comes up. And then something else comes up. So as Prabhuji mentioned, Radha Vinod Prabhu. So we have to be conscious. We have to discriminate. and we have to see which mode we are in, why I'm clicking that, what is the reason for that, what is that I'm trying to achieve out of it. Yeah, we have to question it. That awareness, multiple times it came, Mataji, today. This is discrimination, awareness. Yeah. So once we have that awareness, right? Once we start discriminate, once we start having that awareness, right? Then we try to come back to Sattvagun Mataji and also association. Okay. First
Yeah,
of
but
all,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, association, you are not going to get the complete pure association that you are talking. That is the most hypothetical. It doesn't work that way, right?
yeah, it
So,
doesn't hurt.
that is why all our New Year resolution fails in first 10 days, 15 days. It doesn't last there because there's no spiritual strength. And as you said, right, one of the slide, that is the crux of everything.
Spiritual strength.
The
Spiritual strength.
spiritual strength, because
Yeah.
that helps you to discriminate, right? See the
Discriminate.
purpose. As you said, that every decision you make purposeful decision, right? As you said, that word was that purpose. So see that, does it help me in a spiritually, or is it helping me temporarily, just satisfy and go, right? So all that struggle will always go, continue, right? But it's a nice class, as Mataji said. It's a nice class. You made very good attempt, and Vishwanath Chakravarti, I think, smoothens out very nicely. I think some of those points, right? Very nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. His
तो
comments are
प्रभु
very
जी
powerful.
प्रभु जी एक पॉइंट ऐसा है कि ये तीनों गुण को भी हम भगवान की सेवा में लगा सकते हैं। वो डिवोटी बहुत अच्छे से जान पाता है।
Yes, Mataji.
क्योंकि अगर हम
See,
रात को
you
भी
can't
सोते
use
हैं,
it. You can't use tamoguna. You can't use
नहीं मगर प्रभु
rajoguna.
जी हम ऐसे सोने के टाइम पे हम ऐसा सोच सकते हैं कि मैं कल जल्दी उठूंगा, जल्दी अच्छे से मेरी साधना करूंगा, वो
हाँ,
भाव लेके सो जाएंगे तो
तो
इट
Yeah,
इज
tamoguna
yeah.
hai nahi na. Tamoguna hai nahi na. Then you come to the discipline,
नहीं
as
मगर
Prabhuji is
हम
talking
लोग
about.
तो स्लीप तो सोना तो है ना, रात को हम नींद तो
Yes,
आएगी,
yes,
वो
yes, yes.
वो हिसाब से कह रही हूँ कि एक डिवोटी समझ पाता है कि उसको भी हम सेवा में लगा दे।
अगर
वो
हम
हिसाब से
अगर हम गॉड का ध्यान करते हुए सोते हैं माइंड
Right,
में,
right.
देन इट बिकम्स
Spiritual.
देन
Correct.
इट इज
हाँ
Yeah.
प्रभु जी
So,
एक मेरा वो जो लास्ट ये भी किया रिकैप से रिलेटेड है कि अपना सेल्फ एक्शन से डिवोटी को वो नहीं मिलती, हाईएस्ट भक्ति पे नहीं पहुंच पाते, गॉड मर्सी चाहिए उसमें। हम
God,
ये
कृपा शक्ति.
कृपा शक्ति चाहिए उसमें। हम ये भी
You
कह
know,
सकते कि
हाँ,
उसके खुद के एफर्ट से वो नहीं पा सकता, क्योंकि उसका खुद के एफर्ट से उसको होता है कि मैंने ये कुछ कर लिया, प्राइड होता है, वहाँ पे ईगो होता है। दैट्स व्हाई एंड व्हेन ही गेट्स मर्सी तभी मिलती है गॉड की, जब उसको पूरी तरह से गॉड को सरेंडर कर देता है और उसको फुल डिवोशन होता है, तभी उसको मर्सी मिलती है। और जब
yeah.
फुल डिवोशन होता है तो इट मीन्स वो कृपा तो अपने आप ही ऑटोमेटिकली आएगी। तो फुल डिवोशन में वैसे ही वो भक्ति के पीक पर पहुंच जाएगा। दिस इज
As long as you stand with your own tapobal, I do so much austerity. I get on manobal, with a mind I can control. With a
यस
bahubal, with my strength I can do. With my any bal, as long as you are having that bal,
यस
you go with you, you can't do it. Raise the
यस
hand, God, I am helpless, I am your, I can't do nothing. That is
सरेंडर,
a utter surrender. That is utter surrender, right?
प्राइड सब खत्म हो जाता है उस वहाँ स्टेज में।
Correct. And then the Lord's Kripa Shakti, which doesn't give, Shalu Prabhuti mentioned, right? Kripa and Icha Shakti. Icha Shakti by our own endeavor, right? She says, surrender first and then I'll do what you want. And Kripa Shakti is, Lord, I cannot surrender of my own. I need your help in that also, right?
यस
So
यस
that is a Kripa Shakti, and that rarely Krishna gives.
यस प्रभु जी,
Yeah,
राइट।
okay.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prasad Prabhu, for the presentation. We can see you are very tired. Thank you. Thank you so much. Even in this condition, you did it. Thank you so much. Pranam.
प्रभु टेक केयर प्लीज।
Yes, Prabhuji, take care.
Yes,
Nashima Arti, no Arti? Somebody.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dipti
Hi.
Mataji, would you like to do nursing prayers?
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. प्रह्लादलाददायिने हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्या शिलटङ्कारनखालये इतो न सिंह परतो न सिंह इतो न सिंह परतो न सिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो न सिंह वही नरसिंह हृदय नरसिंह वही नरसिंह हृदय नरसिंह नरसिंहमदि शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमल भरे नखामद्भुत शृङ्गं दलित हिरण्यकश्यपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तब कर कमल भरे नाखाम अद्भुत शृङ्गं दलित हिरण्यकश्यपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय श्री नरसिंह सिंह भगवान की जय श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय जय ऑल डिवोटीज की जय चारू प्रभु जी की जय शरद प्रभु जी की जय राधा विनोद प्रभु जी की जय प्रसाद प्रभु जी की जय समता माता जी रक्षा माता जी अर्चना माता जी टू सभी भक्तों का जय हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
राम
Ram
हरे राम राम राम
Ram Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dipti Mataji की भी जय. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad pranam to all devotees.
वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो.
जय.
हर प्रभु की जय शरद प्रभु की जय
to do this prayer Saturday morning, then I may do. If there is anyone interested, then it's okay.
Yes, Mataji, Harsha Mataji is doing tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do the Narsimha prayers, Mataji.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
No problem.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prasad Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I'm ending the call here. Okay, I'm the
Yes,
host.
Prabhu.
I'm ending the call.
Thank you, Prasad Prabhuji.